Hello, Irregular Nation! And how are we doing? Welcome to my second review, spoiler review, of course, on Wandavision, episode 3. Alright. So, I'm enjoying the show. I know it's not what everybody probably envisioned. Check that. Vision. But it's good. I mean, you can tell the show knows what it's trying to do. At least I feel it does. It's not trying to be a straight-on freaking action show. It's not just trying to hand you everything and say, this is what it's going to be. You know, it's making you have to think a little bit. It gives you, like this episode, I shit you not, gives you like that eerie kind of weird vibe going, even though like they're trying to throw the, like the jokey jokes in there and this and that, and they keep it light with the, studio laughs because, it's a show within a show. That's what they're trying to do here. That's the thing that's going on, that little play thing that they got going on there. But that's okay. That's cool. They're taking you back into the 70s. They're making it entertaining because maybe like the story itself wouldn't warrant 9 episodes. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe this is just the way to tell this story. I don't know. I have no idea. But before I continue, because this show is making me have to I have to think a little bit on this show, and even when I do these spoiler reviews with you, I don't really know all the backstory of all this, so it's intriguing to me too. So that's why I'm a little more engaged. Not that I'm a little more engaged. I'm always engaged in all the stuff I watch. But when it comes to certain Easter eggs, I don't know all of them, so I have to look them up. So it's like, holy crap, tons of information coming at you, but that's cool. So everybody, let's go take a shot at some fire, Jim Beam fire, all right? And let's dive into this spoiler review. All right. So we get the Brady Bunch feel. One thing that you do notice with the Brady Bunch feel that they do give you, the stairs are on the opposite side, if you remember the show, or at least the way they shoot it. So that's kind of like, hey. But it starts off with her being examined by the doctor. And, he's giving all the analogy. They're making it fun, just like how those shows were back in the day. And right away, her stomach grows not too shortly after that. After the doctor leaves, and apparently, he's going to Aruba, this, that, the other. And it's like, what? What's going on here? And then you have that weird moment where Vision's talking to Herb right outside, and he starts sawing through the wall. And you're like, all right, why is he doing that? And and it kind of seems like he knows he's doing it too. And Vision starts pointing it out, and he's kind of like, he starts giving those weird looks. So you can tell that the people of Westview, because that's where we're at, know something that's going on. So some of these people are aware, but at the same time, it seems like they're also playing their characters. So, what's going on here? Now, let's also keep in mind that Sword, and you've seen that emblem before. It was on the little helicopter, and it's also on Geraldine's necklace. And Geraldine, who is supposed to be Monica Rambeau, if I say that right, Rambeau, sorry if I'm not pronouncing the last name of that character correctly, is the character from, if anybody ever saw Captain Marvel, because like I said, this is all directly tied to, the MCU continuity and their universe, their movie universe. She's the little girl in Captain Marvel. So apparently she works for Sword, and Sword it's a long name. I'm not going to remember it, nor am I going to pull it up at the moment. But they're kind of like S.H.I.E.L.D. So anytime there's any kind of supernatural type of deal or hero type stuff that goes on, they're like that crisis management team that comes in there and tries to keep it all under wraps. If you guys remember Thor, when S.H.I.E.L.D. was real prevalent in the MCU, They had the whole area where, the hammer was, Mjolnir, if I said that right, sorry also. I'm not a huge Marvel guy, so it had that feel. We'll get to that point though. Like, I made that point, but that was more geared toward the end of the show. But just to give you an idea, Sword is basically playing like S.H.I.E.L.D., but we don't know yet. They're making you think. They're making you go with all these different avenues right now, because that's what you're supposed to do with a series that comes out weekly. They want you talking about it. They want you to sit there and throw out, like, oh, point out this Easter egg, point out that Easter egg. And they want you to discuss it. And that's what's happening. And by the way, that's why everybody wants Zack Snyder's Justice League to be a 4-part miniseries. But get over it. It's not going to be. So as we go back into Wandavision, when I was talking about Herb sawing through the wall, Vision goes back in, and because Vision starts to come out of it a little bit. And you're also saying, like, wait a minute, how is Vision thinking himself when Vision's dead? So you're like, is Wanda strong enough to be controlling this particular universe that was created? Is she being experimented on? Or is she going from place to place? Like, we don't know what the F is going on in this show whatsoever. Everything is just pretty much a coin flip, and whatever you want to think, you think. So when Vision goes back in, he starts, bringing some stuff up, and, he's talking about the weirdness of things, and then all of a sudden she kind of, like, manipulates it, and you see that she blanks time back again. They don't show the rewind. They just kind of show it like where it cuts, like a scene cut, and it goes back to where she manipulates Vision. So it's, that's what I say to myself. I'm like, all right, I'm not a guy that's going to sit there and tie everything directly to comics. I know they're going to pull shit from comics. Like her rapid pregnancy that happens in this episode. She goes preggers quick. When the contractions start, wildness starts just happening throughout the whole town, like supernatural events, not supernatural, but, like where it starts raining in the house, pipes are bursting in other people's places, and that's also how Geraldine shows up, and she even questions why she's there. So it's like, okay, so you knew that this person was not supposed to be there. Okay, well, how do you know that, Wanda? Interesting. So, you put your little light bulb right there. So what's that? What does that mean? Everything has a little bit of meaning in this show. So put it to you this way. If you're going to watch this show, I do tell you, pay attention to everything that's going on. Don't be trying to do other things around or keep it as kind of like a background, this and that. Sit down, pay attention, because within this 32 minutes, you got a lot of stuff. There was a lot going on, and I'd say like within the last 10 minutes of the show, it really started to get some serious tones to it, like some weird kind of tones. So, like I was saying, when she has the encounter where Geraldine shows up, that's when she's going through her contractions, and prior to that, everything's going on, like all like the lights are going crazy, everything's going crazy within the house. When she shows up, she ends up having one baby first when Geraldine's there. Geraldine does not break character. Monica Rambeau, who she is, it kind of like, so I do apologize for some of the pause right here, because I'm also trying to think, I'm like, well, what could some of it mean? I've read some articles here and there to see what it does mean. I mean, she ends up having twins, right? And that's interesting because she is a twin. So we do obviously know that Scarlet Witch impregnated herself, and that was after episode 2. But does she know she did that? Because after the birth of both babies, who apparently are supposed to be Wiccan and Speed, they said, and they are tied into the younger Avenger teams, and I know that there's a Hawk Girl coming out, so maybe they're trying to set all this up. I mean, that's kind of what the MCU does. They set up stuff. And that's why I say, if you want continuity in your comic book stuff when it comes to like real life movies, you have to go MCU. It's the truth. The DCEU is all over the place. So if you're a Zack Snyder fan, you'll love his stuff, but everything else doesn't really have much continuity. So MCU has all the continuity that's going on. So even with everything that they're doing now, you're like, oh, okay. So as we fast forward here, because I don't need to, anybody that's watching this has watched the episode. So we'll get to certain beats throughout this. So after the two kids are born, and she's singing to them in the cradle, all of a sudden she starts having like these memories. And you could tell that like when Wanda's having these memories, she kind of looks like she's remembering like the actual reality. So, oh yeah, anybody? Brooklyn Defender. It's a very good beer. Give it a shot. Monica Rambeau, well, Geraldine, breaks her character and actually says Ultron killed your brother. And as soon as that shit happens, you see Wanda just like go full on freaky. You just see her get angry, and you're like, ooh, what's going on here? And you start to see Geraldine's character kind of like, you see her getting like on fuzzy, and she starts figuring some stuff out, and she's just like, oh, no, I didn't say that, this and that. But it's like she knew what to say when she said that. So it was like, well, what? So when I tell you about Sword, and then how she has that emblem, there's like so many different things that go on, because for the commercial in this show, in this episode, they did it was called Hydra Soak, and it was like a bubble bath thing, and it goes, awaken your inner goddess. Well, obviously that everything that goes on is having some kind of hidden meaning. Now we know that Scarlet Witch is, in the comics, technically a mutant. She is a mutant. She is Magneto's daughter. So are they trying to play the fact that the Mind Stone, right? If the MCU wants to introduce the X-Men, right? I don't know if they're going to do it with the multiverse stuff that's coming up. You can also tie in where Wanda can become the first mutant in the MCU universe, in the movie universe, of course, as what I'm talking about, not the comic books. You could say that the Mind Stone awoke whatever mutant ability she had in her. Could be, don't know. I mean, who knows? But after she has that quick, serious moment, all of a sudden it cuts, and you see Monica Rambeau. I keep saying Monica Rambeau because that's who the character is. Geraldine, the character, get thrown out. Like, phased out. But she's not phased out by Wanda's magic. I mean, she was, but she wasn't, because you saw the force field. It was like a force field, or they were in like some kind of freaking bubble. I don't know. If anybody ever saw the movie Annihilation, kind of reminded me of that. Like, it's almost like Wanda has created some type of alternate reality within real life, and what Sword is trying to do, or whatever all these characters are trying to do, they're trying to keep her sane, because it looks like whenever she gets angry, she can do whatever she wants. I mean, when she was having the kids, she was manipulating reality right there. Everything was going haywire, because that's why Geraldine ended up showing up at Wanda's house when it all went down, because she's like, I need a bucket, I need this, and then all this kind of weird shit. There was like a bird that kept walking around, and that stork-style bird was upstairs, and then it posed in the same fashion of which she had the painting. I don't know if that has any meaning. Like I said, everything in this show is some type of fucking Easter egg. So it's like, oh my God. So it's like, damn. But I'm still intrigued. I'm still enjoying it. I like those weird ominous vibes where I have to think. I like a show where I have to think. I don't need everything handed to me. So, I mean, when it comes to that, that's why I'm enjoying this. Do I think this is a perfect 10 out of 10 show? No. Not at all. Not at all. Because some of it I can just be like, lengthen the damn episodes and give us a little bit more. Because when Geraldine's character woke up in the field and you saw that they had like a military base formed around it, and that is what I was saying about if you saw the first Thor, you would understand what I'm trying to say when they create an entire military operation around it to protect it, Mjolnir, because they want to see if Thor is going to end up showing up, which he does in the movie, la-di-da-di-da, to see what's going on with this whole thing. So you would think Shield is Shield in that movie wasn't the bad guy, but then you think they might be. But of course, if you know the comics or not, la 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 la. So when it looks at Sword, when this is becoming, it seems to be the predominant Shield style thing, and that's probably going to set up their Phase 4. Is Hydra involved? Yeah, I know the two. What was it? The two advertisements that they had within the show, like the commercials that they do. That was, it's like given to you too easily. So you're like, is that what they're trying to say? Or are they trying to dive into Wanda's head? Because, excuse me, that's a shot. Wanda's definitely messed up. She's got trauma throughout. You see that, the Von Strucker watch, the Stark toaster. And then when Ultron's name is said, she kind of loses her shit. She gets angry. So it's almost like, did Wanda openly just kind of give herself up to figure herself out? Were they caught? Is Hydra... Does Hydra have an agent inside of Sword that's causing all this? I mean, you don't know. So that's why you got to keep tuning in. You're like, fuck, what the hell's going on? I want to know if there's going to be some kind of big payoff. Stop honey dicking me. I hate when that shit happens, when they honey dick the shit out of you. Because you're almost like, fuck. Are they going to wait till like the last 2 episodes to make it go wild? They better not. I mean, and those episodes better be 50 plus minutes when we get to them, not 30. Even though, like I said, I'm still satisfied with the 32 minutes that I saw today. It did not upset me. I was just like, okay, all right. I see what you're doing. I like it. Give me a little bit more. Let's go. So, pretty much feel that we covered a lot of those spots. Oh, here we go. Back to, because Agnes didn't have a big role. They're saying that Agnes, because she also, these freaking necklaces and little pendants and shit, she's got one too, and that might have something, because apparently her character, from what I glimpsed past real quick, is in the comics, supposed to be the sister? Could be wrong. Sorry if I am. But you see her and Herb, when Vision comes out near the end, conversing with each other. Like, they're kind of like going back and forth like, all right, she just did something she wasn't supposed to, and it looks like Vision knows what's going on. So we have to kind of play this off, and then Vision comes out, and he's kind of like, the hell are you two doing? What are you guys going on there? And then she plays it off. And I hope they use that lady's character more, because she's freaking hilarious. If you guys haven't seen her in any other movies, like, I think it was Bad Moms, was it? Or something like that. She's fucking so funny. She plays a supporting role in a lot of stuff, but she's really funny. Yeah. And then, like I said, when Geraldine gets thrown out of the damn reality that apparently Wanda's in, or Wanda has created, it's almost like Wanda's created a reality that if they don't control it, she can topple reality. And that also might be why Doctor Strange comes in at one point in this. So, or people are saying he makes a cameo or this, that, the other. Could be a reason, guys. Keep that thought. That might be why Doctor Strange comes in this. I don't know. I'm thinking. So, anyway, that's our spoiler review. Like I said, I'm enjoying it. I hope you guys are too. I'm going to keep tuning in. I mean, it's only 9 episodes, so hey, we'll find out. Let's see what happens on the next one, because I'll be back for another spoiler review on Wandavision. All right? And I want you guys now to go and hit that like, hit that subscribe, and become a part of this Irregular Nation. Because guess what? Why wouldn't you want to? Come hang out with me. We got Hope Productions in the background. You guys don't see her. We're going to get her on here and help build the empire that is the Irregular Nation. Cheers, guys.